Shiloh from Richmond, Virginia. How's it going, Greg?
How's it going? Thanks
Really
for having
appreciate
me.
you coming on, man. Let's dive right into it. So, when and how do you guys form?
Oh, we started in like 2011, I think, 2010, 2011. And it was kind of a band that was previously called Vessel. Um, and that was more of a like post-metal thing with vocals. And kind of evolved into more of an instrumental thing with um our vocalist kind of wanting to do his own thing, separate from music, and us kind of writing more, I guess, softer songs in general. And we were like, okay, well, let's try this, and just kind of gone that way. We changed our name right before we were about to go on a tour, um, just because we were like, oh, well, there's a lot of vessel bands out there, and this is a totally different sound than what we have now, so we should kind of think of a new name and something that you know fits us a little bit more. So yeah,
That's awesome, man. I love it.
thanks.
So, last year you guys released Babylonica. How's the response been to it?
It's been good. Yeah, it was. I'm sure people are always wanting a full length, but for an EP, I think it went over really well. The three songs, it's like two songs with a kind of interlude piece. I feel like complemented everyone's styles. And yeah, it. I think it went over well, so we're happy with it. So,
Who did you guys record it with, and how was the process?
that was an interesting process. It was actually recorded at the same time that we recorded Snake Behind the Sun, and that was Mike Watts at Voodoo Studios up in Long Island, New York. And that was actually at the very, very beginning of COVID. And like we were getting stressed out because I think we had 2 days left and they were about to start locking down the city or like New York and all that. So we had already been essentially quarantined for 3 weeks recording the record. So it wasn't like that crazy for us. But just the fact that they were like, we don't know what the situation is. We don't know if we're going to be able to leave New York. Are we going to like stay, so that was getting stressful. And then, fortunately, where at Voodoo, there's two different mixing rooms, and we were able to separate into two different groups and like work on two different songs essentially at the same time, and like finish the like textural things for the end of the record. And then, yeah, these songs essentially came from that. We just didn't feel like they quite fit the full sound of Snake, and we wanted something to, have in 6 months to a year to release, and that's what that mindset was, and that's where that came from.
Yeah, that must have been really scary, like not knowing whether you're gonna be able to like leave the state, like not sure if you were gonna be able to like get it all done, and that must have
It
been
was
absolutely crazy.
it was definitely really stressful. And I think three of us, Zach, and I drove home back to Richmond from Long Island, and seeing everybody just like it was either some areas were completely deserted because by the time we had actually left, they were like in lockdown. And yeah, it was just crazy seeing everybody driving with masks, everybody like unsure, like you know, just grabbing things with grabbing handles with like gloves, and just everybody taking precautions, which I get. I'm all for it, and yeah, it was just crazy like to see it and firsthand, I guess. But yeah,
You guys got it done. That's what
got it
matters.
done. Yeah, yeah,
Got it
yeah.
done. Got it out to the world.
Yep. Unfortunately, it was tough because we wanted to obviously tour on it as soon as it gets released, and then it was in the middle of COVID when we released it, and so that was a bummer to not be able to tour right away. But um, yeah, so we're happy to finally get back on the road and start playing those songs live.
Right on. So you're from Richmond. How's the post rock scene there? Do you have a favorite local band, favorite venue?
It's cool here. There's a lot of different or a lot of diversity in Richmond. There always has been. I feel like it's always been a big hardcore and metal scene. Um, so as far as like post rock and post metal stuff, there's a band here and there. Maybe that like kind of teeters with that. There's only been like a few instrumental like bands that I've known of over the years, and yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people that come out to shows and support it, but not so much. There's not like super notable bands that I can think of from here with this genre, I guess. Um, but yeah, as far as venues go, I've always there's a venue called the Camel, which it's like a 200 cap room, I guess. And the stage is maybe a foot and a half off the floor, but it's just kind of like a long shotgun room, and then there's another room next to it. But that's always been a fun place to play. People come out. It's in the middle of the city. It's just a great spot all the way around. So they've been upgrading their sound, their PA a lot, and the stage is like good, comfortable size. Um, so I've seen a lot of bands there and played a lot of shows there. So it's good.
That's always good when they improve the sound.
Yeah, for sure. So,
So who would you say your biggest influences are?
oh man, me personally, or
You,
just
the band.
yeah, it's always ranging, especially as we've kind of gotten new members over the past few years. But for me personally, Sigur Rós has always been a massive influence. Um, I would say there's a band called Mono that I've always loved. But yeah, lately I've been getting into a lot of like um, more electronic-y stuff and yeah, just trying to like expand my musical tastes more. So I there's a band called Health that I've enjoyed a lot. I know they've been around for a while, but um, I'm late, so um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many. I feel like there's influences from every different genre that somehow intermingle. Last one I'll mention is a band called Mew, um, that I really enjoy their guitar tones that they create and stuff like that. So yeah. As far as the band goes, it's all different. Again, different genres. Lots of heavy stuff. Lots of um, Drew comes from a very metal background, so a lot of like sludgy metal stuff. For me, it's again what I just said. Zach is more on the classical side, but like a lot of heavy stuff too. Um, Drew or Dylan and Kai are all over the place too. So yeah.
So here's the $1 million question for you. So if you could tour with one of those bands, who would it be?
Oh man, one of those bands. Um, mm, I mean, I would say Mew if that could be a thing, just because I remember in like 2011, I like sent them a message on or comment or whatever on Facebook or something, and it was just like, if you guys ever come to the States, they're from Denmark. If you ever come to the States, please come to Virginia or DC or something. And finally got to see them, and they were incredible live, and exactly what I was hoping for. And yeah, so like getting to see them night after night after night on a tour would be really really cool. So
That's so sick. That's the absolute best when you finally get to see a band after like, wanting to see them for, 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
for sure, yeah, it was cool.
Right on, man. So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you as a person. I did this with the other bands. Are you ready?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, first one, favorite dessert.
Dessert. Oh man. Um, I mean everything's great. I like cheesecake. It's not often that I eat it, but I definitely like it. I guess also, I don't know, I go to Taco Bell a lot and I get their Cinnabon Delight things. So whatever, they're great. But yeah, so one of those.
You're speaking my language right now.
Right on.
So if you had the opportunity to either go to the past or go to the future, which one and why?
Hmm. Um, I don't know. I would say stuff in the future. It's I don't know what it could be. So like that could be kind of a like endless thing. If I could go back in time and like redo some things, maybe I would. Um, so yeah, I don't know. There's some things that I would probably do differently. So maybe the past, I think. Yeah.
I like it. So if you could go back in time and talk to one world leader or person of influence, who would it be?
Oh man. Uh, that's an interesting question, I guess. Um, I don't know, cause like back then I tried to like I when you ask this question, I kind of think of like politically and all that, and I
Yeah,
was like tried to stay out of politics as much as I could. Up
dead
until
musicians count.
say again.
Dead musicians count.
Okay, that's a better way to do it. Then I would go. Uh, honestly, I'd go. A lot of people say John Z or Jonzi from Sigaros. I feel like he has a very interesting life, I'm sure, from Iceland, and would love to talk to him about that. So yeah, I don't know
That
if
would be
that's
sick.
necessarily yeah the world leader or all that, but yeah, be cool.
He counts as a person of influence. He's had a giant impact on, not just music, but society.
I would agree with that. Yeah, cool, cool.
So if you had $1 million and you could donate it to any charity, which one?
Mm, this is me not knowing a a bunch of things. I don't know. I would try to split it up into a couple different charities, but I when put on when put on the spot, I don't know which I would, but there are a bunch I would want to. Definitely suicide prevention, definitely Black Lives Matter, definitely I'm trying to think. There's a million and I yeah, so
That's smart. That's
yeah.
that's that's really smart.
So
It's like why donate to like one when you can help out like numerous people.
sure. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, there's so many out there that I would want to support, but on the spot, I'm just like, oh, okay, this one and this one and this one and this one. So yeah.
I love it. All right, last question. What are some places in Richmond that visitors should check out?
Mm. Um, the river's always a good spot. Belle Isle's cool, but as far as like food and cool places to walk around, Carytown's a cool spot. Just walking around the fan is awesome. All there's so many cool houses and just like different interesting architecture, I guess. As far as food, there's Guap Bar, which is great, Cobra Cabana. Um, if Strange Matter was still around, I would always say that first. But yeah, Cobra Burger is also great. Some friends of mine own that, and they've been doing really well there. So yeah, I mean, just walking around the fan, walking Maymont Park is really pretty, stuff like that.
So when I go back to Richmond, you can show me all those places.
Down, let's do it. Let me know. Yeah,
Definitely got to get back there. I have a lot of love for Richmond. I went down there for the first time a couple of years ago for a minor league baseball game, and then I went to some of the breweries, and I loved it, man. Like I was really impressed.
yeah. There's definitely a lot going on here, and there's definitely a lot coming here. They're gonna build a new baseball stadium very soon, and it's right over by my house. So yeah, I'm excited to see what that brings for the city. So yeah.
That's sick.
Hmm.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting up a little bit, and the support means the world to me.
Sure, of course. Thanks for having me, man. Nice
So
to
for the people,
finally talk to you.
yeah, no, it's always good to like put a name to a face and like hear the voice, because it's like one thing to like talk over messages on Facebook, but it's another to like actually like talk in person, talk over Skype, and like I said, like hear a voice, see a face, and like put it all together.
Sure, absolutely.
So for the people that are going to watch this interview later, where can they find your music at?
It's on all main streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. Bandcamp, please. Um, so yeah, Shiloh Music with a comma in the middle, 2 words, SHY, comma LOW. So
Do what the man says. Go to the websites, listen to the music, buy merch, support local music. They're absolutely killing it. Don't sleep or be square.
right on. Thanks.
All right, brother. Well, I hope you have a great night, and we'll be in touch.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me,
See
man.
you later,
All
of
right,
course. Peace.
bye.